All right, so here we are at Fishbowl Frenzy. So we're gonna go ahead and replace some of these little fingers, or whatever you want to call them. I know before my other video that I did a quick fix and just crazy glued them back on. Yes, you could still do that. You still can crazy glue them back on. If you have one or two of them that are missing short, why not? If you find them in the bottom, grab them, crazy glue them back on. Otherwise, when you're ready to start replacing them, they look like this. Come with a little nylon knot on the back. I thought they were pressed on, but no, they're not pressed on. They actually have a little nylon nut in the back. So it's get threaded, goes through there, a little nut goes on there, and then everything's all hunky-dory. So we are not gonna crazy glue these bad boys, and we're just gonna go ahead and seriously just replace them and get her done. So we've got a few of them that are missing right there. So let's go to the back and see what we need to do to get in there. All right, so here we are in the back of the game. I'm not sure what one you have or if they updated it, but it's 4 bolts and it removes this humongous back door that covers the whole entire back area. It's very big and I don't know why. Anyway, so there are the little nuts that I'm talking about. You can see them right here. Now that we have it apart, as you can see, one of them that needs to be replaced is right there. You can see the little hole right there. That needs to be replaced right there. But how am I going to get to that if these lights are in the way and if the plastic's in the way? We have to remove all this. All this has to be removed so we could just replace a couple fingers. That's why I'm okay with crazy gluing a couple of them, because this is a lot just to remove for 1 or 2 fingers. But in this case, I do have more than 1 or 2 fingers missing, and it's time to start removing it so we can replace them the correct way. All right, so let's go ahead and start removing some of these light bulbs so we can get to this piece of plastic back here, and then we can remove that so we can get in there and comfortably replace these fingers. All right, let's take this apart. Okay, so we have all the light bulbs out. We've got the back plexi piece out. That's just a few screws at the bottom, a few screws at the top. Kind of slides out. Light bulbs out. There is a positive side and there's a negative side, so make sure that you know which side is up. Positive goes up there, negative goes on here. Is that the way it's supposed to be? Doesn't matter to me. I took it out that way. I'm going to put it back in that way, just to be sure. Okay, so now we can access all the nuts all over the place. So I'm gonna go ahead, I already did a few of them, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to tighten all of them up. There were a few that I turned and it had a few extra, I could actually turn it quite a few times. So I was like, oh, that one's a little loose. That one would have eventually broke. And then I'd have to take all this apart just for 1 pin, which I don't really want to do. I would have just kind of glued that bad boy back in. But I think maybe gluing them in is a bad idea, because now I have one that's right there. I can't get it out. I can't get that peg out, so now I'm going to have to figure out a way to drill it out, and hopefully I don't damage the hole, and I can put the new peg in and get it together, hopefully. Well, so maybe don't do the crazy glue idea. I may even take down the other video, I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and tighten by hand all these bad boys. I don't know if I'm gonna use a tool or just use my hands. But I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them all, and then I'm gonna go ahead and replace the ones that are missing. As you can see, this one, this one, this one, that one over there, this one over there. I'm gonna try to fix that one up there. There might be 1 or 2 somewhere else. Can't really tell. So let's go ahead and tighten them up, maybe do some cleanup, because it is very dirty back here. So, and then install the new ones and try to get that one bad boy out. All right, let's get her. Okay, so I was able to remove that one up there. I did have to drill it out. I drilled it out a few times. I didn't go past the actual size of the hole. So as soon as I got it small enough, I just sort of, used my knife or a little pick, and I sort of was able to pop the rest of it out. So I'm glad I was able to do that. So at this point right now, I'm just sort of tightening up all the little nuts, or checking them to make sure that they're all nice and tight. You can see this right now. I'll show you how I do it. Do you need to have a tool like this? I don't know. You can probably use your fingers and probably just fine. I mean, I can turn some of these with my finger. Problem is that you want to make sure that they're nice and tight. You can see this one right here. I'm not using a lot of force, but I am using some force. You can see that it doesn't want to turn. So this one turned a little bit, and now it doesn't want to turn. So that's where I'm stopping. I'm not going any tighter than that. This one turns a little bit, and right there, I feel like it wants to stop. Same thing with this one. Right there, it feels like it wants to stop. It wants to stop. That one, oh, that one had a lot of slack. It wants to stop right there. So, you don't need it to have a torque wrench. I don't know how tight these need to be. Should they be finger tight? I'm not sure. But I am going to use these to make sure that it's nice and tight. Like I said, I'm just gonna go until I can't go no more, and then that's it. I'm not gonna give it an extra little tiny oomph or anything like that. I'm just gonna go till I can't go no more, and then that's it. And then move on. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going all the way to the top, and then I'm gonna install the new pins and then hopefully put everything back together. So let's finish this up. Okay, so I've tightened all of them. I've installed the new ones. You can see right here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's I think I have 7. I don't know. Maybe I miscounted wrong. Anyways, they're all nice and tight. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. I did have to get some help to have someone put the pin in while I put the nuts on the back. I mean, I guess I could have got some tape and did the whole taping it on there to hold it so I can put the nut on, but I just went ahead and grabbed someone real quick and had them put the pins in while I put the nut on, and then that was it. Took seconds. Didn't take very long at all. All right, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and start cleaning everything up. The new pins are installed. I checked every single pin to make sure that they're not gonna break off. Well, as I tightened it, it would feel, if it was gonna break, it would break off at that point. And you know, so make sure they're all nice and tight. I'll make sure the new ones are nice and tight. And then we'll start putting everything back together and then turn the game on and let her play. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup. Okay, and everything is back together. Light bulbs back in, plastics back in, fingers that were missing are back on. Everything's nice and tight. Everything's clean. All that's left is to mount the back door, turn on the game, and let her play. I mean, I guess we could clean the front of it real quick. Dust the glass off. We'll do that and then turn it on and play it, see what happens. All right, let's give it a quick clean in the front and then close this bad boy up. All right, so the game is up. It's working. It looks nice. It looks clean. All the fingers are there. I don't see any more that are missing. You can see them all right here. The game is looking great. So going back to the whole crazy gluing of the pins, in case you just have only one that's broken or something like that. Yes, it's a good idea to go ahead and use crazy glue just to pop that one that's missing instead of having to go through a whole process of removing all the lights and the back plastic just to screw one pin in correctly, one little finger. It's almost as easy just to crazy glue it. But you see what happened with the one I had at the top up there. I had a hard time removing it. One of them was really easy to remove. I just kind of kept twisting it and then it just kind of popped right out. The other one I had to drill and then pick it out and then, you know, just work at it, and then finally I got it out. And then I still had an issue pushing the actual new one in because I guess the crazy glue made it a little bit smaller, so I had to kind of pick it out a little bit more to get it to go in. Finally went in. So do I suggest crazy glue to fix the pins? Sure, if you're in a pinch, but if you're not in a pinch, go ahead and just remove the light bulbs and put the fingers on correctly with the little nut and nylon washer on the back, and then be done with it. That way it gives you time to actually clean everything up and stuff like that, and just take a look in there and make sure everything is running correctly or not missing any parts or any parts that may have fallen off and down on the bottom. It gives you a chance to do that. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Remember about the fingers. It's a little bit of a hassle to get the fingers on there, but you know, just remove the back, get them on there. Unless you're strapped for time, then you can go ahead and crazy glue them back in. But I'm not going to crazy glue them anymore myself, so I'm going to do them the correct way. Anyways, thanks for watching.